Hey there, it's Lowell Jr. Yesterday, we had a great webinar on how to create $1 million associate. We had over 90 people in attendance who stayed well beyond an hour to hear the great wisdom and pearls that Chris Milkey and Matthew Dearman provided. And we had some great case studies showing people who had followed similar strategies and how well their associates had done with some of the guidance and leadership and mentoring that Matt and Chris had provided them in the past. We know that associates can make such a positive impact on your practice, whether it's to increase revenue, provide more services to your patients and community, and give you more free time to do the things that you love to do. And if you didn't get a chance to participate in the webinar last night, we are going to be giving a replay. So at the bottom, you can click to sign up for the replay and hear all that wisdom once again. And the last part of the series on adding associates to your practice is something that's really important, and it's getting the right contract in place. And when I talk about the right contract, it's compensation, it's expectations, it's long-term relationship that you need to put into a contract that helps both you and the person that you're hiring for the near and the long term. And when you start to think about a contract, the first thing people always think about is compensation. What's the fair compensation route? And there's a lot of methodologies for fair compensation. I would say the current market really bears that people typically make somewhere between 25 and 35% of their revenue, whether that's in base salary and bonus, or strictly base salary, or strictly in a percentage type of a relationship. And then there's the different nuances on who pays for medical malpractice, who pays for healthcare insurance, how do DMEs get reflected in terms of the cost of those. And there's a lot of different nuance with that. But those are things that you should be thinking about when you're putting a contract in place. But no matter what, the contract needs to be fair for both parties. If it's weighted heavily towards the owner of the practice, eventually the employee associate is going to be unhappy, looking to go elsewhere. If it's weighted too heavily into the compensation of the associate, the owner is going to feel like, gosh, what am I paying for? I'm not making any money. In fact, I'm losing money on that. And that is not a win-win. You want to create a win-win. And the last thing you want to think about with the contract is contracts are not meant for the marriage. They're meant for the divorce. And unfortunately, we have to think in terms of how that contract plays out when things don't work out between you and the associate. And that's how you want to be thinking about it. You're always going in with the best intentions, but when you put a contract in place, you need to think about what's the worst case scenario. And that's why we have legal documents in contracts. So to end up our series on adding associate, and hopefully we provide you with great pearls, you want to really think about adding associate. You want to make sure you recruit and train and give them the tools to be successful. And that will lead to a great relationship for you and your associate for the near and the long term, providing better patient care and better health for your practice. So think about adding an associate and have a great week.